So in the last video, you guys gave me some feedback. The first thing is my mic absolutely sucks, and you can barely stand watching my videos because of how bad the mic sounds. But other than that, my videos are good. Like, the vlog stuff is cool with the GoPro on my head. So I've got a mic. Hopefully you can hear me better. Before we get into the video, I just want to say I've got some brand new merchandise out. I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. It's of Addie. It's a picture of her reaction with a meme. And I'm really excited. I've been saying that I'm going to put out a shirt like this for a while, so now we're putting out a shirt like this. When I hit 50K on Instagram, or I said when I was going to hit 50K we were going to put out a shirt. We just hit 50K today, and so here's a shirt. I also said when I hit 50K I was going to get a new steering wheel, so I'm ordering a new steering wheel today. It's going to be the FR500 with the little red stripe, because you guys voted that you like the little red stripe. But let's get started with today's video. We're basically going to talk about some of the things that what was it? What was the video? I have ADD. Some of the things I should have done.
Mistakes you made.
Some of the mistakes that I've made with my 03 Cobra. It's really hot. Really hot out here. Very hot day here in North Carolina. So it's kind of hard to think. So the biggest mistake that I've made with the car, and it's not really a mistake, it's just kind of like something that if I wouldn't have done, I would have saved money, is I put too much money into the stock blower. So originally on this car, from the time that we bought it up until a couple years ago, it had a ported Eaton blower. And actually, I was the one that had it ported. So I bought the car with a stock Eaton blower, nothing done to the blower. And I thought, like, oh, let's try to make 500 something horsepower with a stock blower. I always thought it was cool seeing Cobras with a stock blower making over 500 wheel, and I saw some of them making like 550, 570 wheel, and I always thought that I wanted to keep the stock blower on here and just maybe put nitrous on it, or have the stock blower on like really high boost, and I was hoping that I would make 550 to the wheels. Well, that never really ended up happening. It's pretty hard to get 550 to the wheels with the Eaton blower. Oh, energy drink's getting me. It's pretty hard to get 550 to the wheels with the Eaton blower, even if you port it, just because that blower is not really meant for that much power. So I was able to get 530 wheel horsepower out of the ported Eaton blower with like a stage 7 or 8 Stegmeyer port, I think it was, and that was about as good as it would do. And then the car started aging a bit more and losing horsepower. It was like 7 years ago, the blower detonated. It spun a bearing, and I had to send it off to Stegmeyer, get the whole thing rebuilt. In retrospect, I think around the time when I was first getting the blower ported, I should have just sold it for $800 and then put that towards a Whipple for $2,000. A few years ago, you could literally get 2 through Whipples for like $1,800. I didn't know that because I was only looking at porting the Eaton. Porting the Eaton, after you send it off, you retune the car and everything, ends up being close to $2,000. You could actually just sell the Eaton for $800 to $1,000, put the money towards a 2 through Whipple. Like, the first gen 2 through Whipples are really cheap. They've went up a little bit because of inflation, but you can probably still get a first gen 2 through Whipple for like $2,500, which is pretty good for 2022. And then all you gotta do is swap that on your Cobra, get 60-pound injectors, get headers, get a couple more mods, and you're easily gonna make 600 wheel. Whereas you could push the car as hard as you want with the ported Eaton, it's never gonna get to 600 wheel. Even if you do E85, maybe you'll get like really close to 600. But basically, if you wanted to make 600 wheel on a ported Eaton, you would need E85. You need to build the motor. You need to get cams. You would just need to go completely crazy to get 600 wheel on a ported Eaton, whereas on a 2 through Whipple, it's fairly easy. I don't really regret doing it because I've enjoyed the car at all phases, but if you're someone that wants to save money on your build and you know you want 600 wheel, it's a lot smarter just to sell your Eaton if you have one and go with the Whipple. Or if you plan on reselling the car one day, you could Whipple swap it, keep your Eaton in your garage, and then when you're ready to sell the car, put the Eaton back on, sell the Whipple separately, sell the car with the Eaton on it, and you would get back probably all the money that you put into your car, and probably even more, because that Whipple in the future might be worth even a little bit more. So that's the first big sort of mistake. I wouldn't call it a mistake, but I would have saved money if I wouldn't have done it that way. The second thing is going to be something called a head cooling mod. Some of you guys, you might know what a head cooling mod is. If you're researching 0304 Cobras, or if you have one, you might know what a head cooling mod is, or you might have never heard of a head cooling mod. So basically, the 2003 Terminator Cobra, Mustang Cobra, had a little bit of issues cooling down its engine on cylinders 7, 8, around that part of the engine. There was a problem circulating the coolant in that area, and what was happening is, I believe the coolant, correct me if I'm wrong if you're a Cobra Terminator expert zealot, there was coolant getting stuck around that area of the engine, and it was causing the coolant just to kind of bake in that area of the engine and just bake the cylinder heads, and you were getting a lot of aging early on with the motor, and a lot of noise. You're starting to have issues up there in that part of the motor, and I was starting to get that. So I bought the car with 96,000 miles. I think if I would have gotten the head cooling mod right as I bought the car, I probably would still be on the stock motor. I probably never would have had to replace my motor. But I never bought the head cooling mod. I didn't know that was a thing until about like 6-7 years of ownership, and by that point I knew the motor probably needed to be rebuilt anyway, so I just didn't do it. But if I would have done a head cooling mod early on, it's possible that we'd still be on the stock motor up until around 100, and we're at 139,000 miles right now. Although, with the motor being as old as it is, stock, I probably would lose power. May have replaced it anyways, but the point is, if you have an 03 Cobra and you do a head cooling mod early on, you'll actually save your motor. Your motor will last a lot longer because around cylinder 7 and 8, you're not going to have that same heating issue. In 2004, this was actually fixed as far as I know. So if you have an 04 Cobra, you're not going to have to deal with this problem, and I hope it doesn't start raining. I think we might get rained on. Right now, I might go ahead and turn around. But the 03 Cobras had that problem with cooling. The 04 Cobras did not have that problem. I'm going to pull over at this gas station and just... No, that truck's kind of blocking me. Never mind. So if you had an 04 Cobra, or you have an 04 Cobra, don't worry about it. If you have an 03 Cobra, maybe you just bought it, you're looking at buying one, make sure that it either has a head cooling mod if it has high mileage, or if it has lower mileage, that you're going to get a head cooling mod when you get the car. That'll save the motor for a lot longer. So head cooling mod, and get a Whipple if you plan to make over 600 wheel and you want to save some money. The third thing, and the final thing is, actually I forgot, what is it? Where's my phone? So this was something that Lauren came up with, that I should have never slammed the car. So you guys probably know this if you followed me for a long time, but I was like 18 years old or so when I bought the car, and one of the first mods that I did was I just bought some lowering springs and then cut the springs. This is something only an 18-year-old boy would do. I cut the springs, slammed the car on its balls, just slammed it. And 0304 Cobras look really cool slam, don't get me wrong, but they ride like shit, and you absolutely should never slam an 0304 Cobra if you plan on getting long tube headers, because it will scrape everything. You will constantly create exhaust leaks, which is going to mess up your air-fuel ratio, which is also going to wear on your motor more. So imagine me. I'm having a different exhaust leak every single week. I don't have a head cooling mod. Basically, if you wanted to be a dick, you could just say that I didn't take care of my motor because I didn't know better. But I'm kind of making this video so those of you that are maybe interested in getting a Cobra or just got one can avoid some of these same issues. Now, if you live in a city or a town where there are like no speed bumps, the road is perfectly flat, and you know for sure that you're never gonna have a problem with scraping, then you can go for it. But like for 99% of us, if you slam your Cobra and you have long tubes, or just without long tubes, just with an X pipe, you're gonna scrape everything. Your exhaust pipes, your headers, just everything under the car is gonna get thrashed and scraped on all the time, and it sucks. If you're a dude and you scrape, it's almost like it feels like it's scraping your nuts. It's just it's not really a fantastic feeling. Oh, also your oil pan. Your oil pan will get scraped as well. This could actually cause oil leaks. So you could have potential oil leaks, you could have exhaust leaks, air-fuel ratio problems, all that sort of stuff if you slam your car. So those are some of the things that I think you should pay attention to if you're wanting to get a Cobra, or you already got a Cobra and you haven't done these things yet. The last thing is these Borla attacks. They're just too loud. They echo a lot. They resonate off of everything. They get really raspy. Clearly, I'm just disturbing the peace, which I put in all my videos, disturbing the peace. But honestly, guys, if you plan on driving a Terminator Cobra a lot and you don't like raspiness, probably don't get Borla attacks. They're very loud. That was kind of a joke. If you followed me for a while, I like the way my exhaust sounds. It's super obnoxious, and if I did daily drive the car, I'd probably change it, but I don't daily drive the car. I drive it to make videos for you guys, and I drive it for my occasional enjoyment in my leisure time. Right now, I have 30 minutes of leisure time. So, if you plan on driving it like that and you like loud, obnoxious, crazy stuff, then get Borla attacks. But if you're an old man, or you have like old man syndrome, or you just don't like loud, raspy, obnoxious stuff and you think rasp is gross, don't get Borla attacks. Get Borla Stingers, get MagnaFlow, get Bassani. Can't really go wrong with Bassani. It's very clean, but for me, I like the dirty, loud stuff. It just makes me giggle every time. Still makes me giggle like a schoolgirl. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this quick little video. If for whatever reason you skipped the beginning of the video, I just came out with new merchandise. On my website, it's actually called The Addy. The shirt is called The Addy. It's a picture of Addy, which, if you don't know, it's the most famous reaction video I've ever made. And it's went out and got a lot of views, made a lot of people smile, and I thought it'd be cool to make a shirt. And the shirt says, "Never forget the moment you became a car enthusiast." And it just has a picture of Addy's face. Because we all remember that first time when we rode in a fast car and we were like, oh, this feels kind of cool. I think I like cars. And then from there on, we were broke forever. But it all started with one ride. So we made a shirt. That shirt is in the link in the description. I'll probably put it on the screen as well. And yeah, that's going to conclude this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave me a like, comment if you have any questions or concerns, or want to tell me what you want to see next. Hopefully this audio quality is better. I don't really know yet until I get to the edit. But yeah, guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please click that subscribe button, ring that bell. People have not been getting notified when my videos come out. So if you ring that bell, helps me out a lot. Maybe even unsubscribe, resubscribe, make sure you're subscribed. I will see you guys next video. Much love.